I just want to share with you, as I look out, there's so many different ways that we can build a business. There's so many different facets to Primerica when we joined. A lot of us got involved maybe for part-time income or spare time income. Some of you hated what you were doing. And then some of us really wanted to get financially independent, but most of us never thought about doing this for a living. None of us, me included, never thought about, man, this could be an opportunity we can get stone wealthy at. A lot of us looked at it because we had fear and insecurities. And there's so many different facets, but I think there's different levels that we go through in Primerica. I think there's 3 businesses that we're in. The first business, we all start off the same position. It's called the recruiting and the premium business, because we're licensed to recruit. We first start, our first license we normally get is our life license. So we start doing life insurance, and we take on a competition. At 22 years old, I never realized I hated the industry, the insurance industry, right? And it's even worse today with IUL. And then there's people, some of you in here, most of your income, most of your business is recruiting and premium. And then there's other people in here, as we've been here for a little bit of time, start building assets under management, and we become advisors, or whatever term you want to use, but we want to build from the security side to the business. And there's a lot of ways, and you don't ever have to apologize how you build your business. I think the greatest thing about Primerica is we get to pick and choose. Sometimes I have leaders that work with us that make millions of dollars a year, and they're like, I know I got to get better at this. I go, well, that kind of spends the same way there too, right? And then some people got to focus, I got to get my insurance and my premium up. And then there's some of us in this room that want to do both. We want to build a company within a company. And one of the things that we want to duplicate is what Primerica's created. If you look at Primerica, if you look at our hierarchy, I think last month we'll end up tonight about 3,000 recruits in the hierarchy, maybe 3 million of premium, and we did over 100 million of new money invested. Personally, I was 0 by 0, but I'm pumped up. And but you look at the numbers behind that, it's balanced. But within the team, maybe it's not balanced. Maybe some of your guys, our leaders get to pick and choose what they want to do. But I want to share some numbers with you because I think it's incredible. If you look at where we invest our time and energy, we don't need to change the way we treat people, but some of us need to change the people we treat. And I think a lot of times we waste and spend our time with people that have been around for a while. I'm not saying disregard them. I'm not saying forget about them. But stop thinking you and I are going to influence people and change the way they think. If we want things to change, we've got to change. I heard years ago, man, changed people change people. But frustration sets in for a lot of us that have been here for a while because we're trying to take people further than they're willing to go. And if you want to look at, can you pop up that picture for me? I think in the beginning what happens is we have a market. This is an example of a glass. In the beginning, I hear people get up, I follow up on my assets under management. You hear people that talk about, we call birthday lists, or all of our clients have birthdays, and those are great things to do. Or you increase our IRAs, which, by the way, we got to save more money. Statistically, in the United States, the greatest country on planet Earth, 16% of people fund an IRA. 5% of people max out their IRA in the U.S. How crazy is that? There's a huge market for what we do. F&A revisits, client revisits, reps, active, old rep. And a lot of times we sit there and go, well, Keith, I don't have any reps. I don't have any licenses. I've been here 6 days. But that first glass represents your huge warm market. The average person who's on social media has 500, 1,000 followers or friends. The average 30-year-old person knows 1,100 people. Right? We know people that know people that know. We have this huge warm market. There's not one person in my life that I know or knows me that doesn't know I'm in Primerica. But some of us, when we're new, is at Primerica. They don't know you don't have a big market. And all of a sudden, we've been here 10, 15, 20 years. Then we take that water, metaphorically, we go from our warm market to client list. And we build. So you will absolutely get that. That's where you'll start to build your assets under management. That's where you start to build your distribution. The opportunity for you and the contacts that we have, it takes time, but it doesn't take a long time. And so I want to give you some examples. Asif Mobin, who works within the reins, got his RVP contract in May of last year. He's been an RVP for a whopping 7 months. $3,000 he was paid in 23. In 24, he was paid $31,000. In 25, $250,000. Pretty cool, right? So every one of us could show someone how to make an extra $1,000 or $1,500 a month. $1,000 to $1,500 a month when you and I started, and by the way, fast forward today, is a game changer for people. Listen to this, Taji and Chris Kiffin, which works with, they work with Orville and A. Chung and the Costellos and Lipson, $430,000 this year, rolling 12, right? Just became the highest paid person in the A. Chung hierarchy for right now. Added 2 diamonds this year. Last year in 25, listen to this, 21, 5,600. Next year, 30,000, 23, 107,000, 24, 230,000 as a regional leader. In 25, $416,000. Got his RVP contract in February of last year. Just coming up his 12th month in the business, $430,000 rolling 12 income. So the confidence level for him, that watch this, Asif, 100% of his income comes from life. Taji, 98% of his income comes from life. John and Cindy Piccone, you'll hear from them tomorrow. $900,000 of income. Listen to this. In 21, 3321, 406, 532, 648. Last year, $864,000. Last year, grew 3 diamonds last year. Will be $1 million earner within the next 90 days. Now think about this. 20% of his income comes from life. 80% comes from securities. Look at the reins. A 31-year overnight success. 31 years they've been in the business, but in 2025, Bobby, they added 7 diamonds to their income. Why? Because they focused on the things you heard today, building a base and creating first generations. Think about this. 60% of their income comes from life, 40% comes from securities, 2.2 million. And every one of them have one thing in common. Every one of them. Their life insurance licenses are up, and the securities licenses are up. Exactly what Glenn's been talking to us about and the company's been preaching. I want to give you an analogy. $1,000 a month at 9%. $1,000 a month at 9% for 5 years is $75,000. But if you look at the next slide, the contribution is $60,000. The gains are $15,000. So when you look at the contributions on that, when you look at it, the contribution, the effort, the investment, in the first 5 years, you don't see a lot of results. You're not going to live. We have guys go, I'm living off my investment. By the way, last year we made more money off our investments than we did in our primary income. And we did pretty good here part-time. But that doesn't happen your first 5 years. You pay the price up front, right or wrong. So when you look at this right here and you say, wait a second, first 5 years we don't see the results and we get frustrated. But look at this next one here. $1,000 a month at 9% for 40 years. I've been here 39 years. That's $4.7 million. That's not the impressive part. The impressive part is 10% comes from your contribution, from your effort, from your investment of time and energy. It's the same in our business. You see, you look at right here, success and successful. There's a huge difference. What's the difference? They didn't stop. They didn't stop doing what they needed to do. See, my question to all of us as teammates, what did we threaten to do that we haven't accomplished yet? How is it possible we're able to do some of this stuff when we didn't know what the hell we were doing? Both my kids, my daughter Dominique and my son Blake are both in the business full time, and I love that part of it, right? We talk a lot in the business, but what's crazy though is we're revisiting some old clients. See, you know in the op meeting we say $10,000 becomes $2.5 million? And we go, oh, that's awesome. When you see that crap happen, your confidence level changes. A lot of us have seen that. Gordy talked about it with his own portfolio. A lot of us have done that for clients, Michael, right? And all of a sudden they've got millions of dollars because we had the guts and the courage to talk to people. Some of us are so proud we hear our leaders speak because we invested time and energy. See, what did you threaten to do you haven't accomplished? It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass because we deal with people. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Everyone's, I'd love to do that. Man, how do you choke somebody? It's all fun and games till you can't breathe. And I heard a statistic. I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I heard a statistic that I'm very proud of. You got white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and then you got black belt, you got all stripes in between, you get choked out, beat up, elbowed, right, all stuff going on. I'm gonna be 61 next month. My wife goes, when are you gonna stop this crap? But I love it, right? And it's 90% of people never get their first belt, which is blue belt. Only 10% get their blue belt. Only 1% get their black belt. Why? Because it's impossible? No, because they tap out. See, it's discipline over temptation. It's focus over fun. See, we got to change the what is to what if. What if I got wider? What if I got wider and deeper and taproot? What if I personally produced some new direct districts this year? What if I grew our attendance? A lot of people, I'm going to have 100 people coach at the convention. How are you going to do that when you got 6 people showing up to the office? If we want to grow attendance, we got to grow attendance. If we want to grow attendance, we got to grow licensing. If we want to grow licensing, we got to grow recruiting, right or wrong. We got to change the what is to what if. What if we stop stopping and starting and stopping and starting? What if we get P&C, persistent and consistent? What if we explode licensing, heading towards the convention? See, folks, the fight in Primerica is not the industry. The fight's not our competition, who's going to be in the Broadmoor. The fight is you against you. That's our fight. Life's about choice. I want to show you a little thing. This is my apartment in the city. That's me. And by the way, that's AI. I didn't do that shit. I'm not wearing that stuff ever again. But that's from my apartment in the city. I'm not kidding. You ask my wife, I hate the cold weather. Why? Because I used to work outside. I drive by a bad neighborhood, I get nauseous because I used to live like that. When it's cold, I start quirking. We were building this farmhouse, my wife and I went there. She goes, it's cold. I go, yeah, it's cold. We're in a freaking car, babe. Those guys are working on the roof, shoveling the snow off so they can put the shingles down. And I think about this. It scares me to think, what if I didn't make the right choices? What if some of us didn't make the right choices? And he said, what was I going to leave my business to my family? Look at this. That's my kid. Both my kids are in the business. My wife has done a phenomenal job with our kids. But that's the view of the city from our place, right? That's our life now. This could have been our life. Look at that. What was I going to give them? My wife's going to kill me for this. She's like, this is not even Dior, right? Folks, life's about choices. You and I have an opportunity. Last slide, please. See, we want to leave a business and a legacy to our family based upon the choices that you and I make. I heard something the other day. It says, after climbing the ladder of success, to realize that your ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Folks, your ladder is leaning against the right wall. And every time you make a friggin' step, you're getting closer to your goals and dreams. Proud to be in business with you guys. Let's go build an empire.